Hey, it's the Empire, Geoboxing Empire, back on boxing. Now, man, Eddie Hearn. Now, big news from Eddie Hearn, man. He says this Anthony Joshua Pulev fight can happen in September or November, right? And he says basically it's impossible in the UK. Now, if you've been paying attention to Eddie Hearn lately, he's been talking about how he wanted to make this this Anthony Joshua Pulev fight, an exclusive fight, right? Maybe on an island, maybe with high uh, you know, high ballers, people with a lot of money, high rollers, people with immense amount of money. He wants to be entertained, right? And Eddie Hearn changed his mind. It seems like in this article, he talks about how basically the atmosphere would not be the same. He says, having it in some room somewhere without the crowd, without the fireworks, without the energy, it's just not the same. He said AJ's brand wasn't built to fight in some, excluded place somewhere. He says his brand and him fighting in these major arenas and selling out arenas is part of his brand, right? Which I agree. I think that's part of his brand, He basically said he wants to keep that up and he wants to have this fight in a location that can basically duplicate what Anthony Josh has been doing his whole career, right? So that being said, man, Anthony, like I said earlier, Eddie Hearn said he cannot fight in the UK. It's not going to happen, right? So he's looking elsewhere. Now, Eddie Hearn in this article talks about fighting in Saudi Arabia and Middle East. That's always a good plan. Or, there's a great, really good possibility that this fight could happen in Bulgaria, which is where Pulev is from. Now, if you guys didn't know, man, Kubrat Pulev did bring an elite level fighter, at least domestically in the UK, to Bulgaria, and that was Huey Fury, baby. Huey Fury. When Huey Fury fought Kubrat Pulev in the UK, Pulev had enough money, enough reach to make him fight over there in Bulgaria, which was a really big deal. So, I'll be really excited to see Anthony Joshua fight foreign again. He did it in Saudi Arabia, broke UK records, and I think he can break UK records fighting foreign. I think it adds more. I don't know. I think it just adds more. Just like some mystique to it when he fights foreign. When he's fighting in his home country, it makes it the must-see TV because he's not there to fight in person, and plus it adds more nationalism to the fight, right? It makes people more well known about who Anthony Joshua is, not just in the UK but in Bulgaria. And I think this would be a really big deal for him to really make a name for himself worldwide. Anthony Joshua is the champ right now. He has the WBA, WBO, IBF, I'm not too sure if he has the IBO, but maybe all those titles. He has most of the titles in boxing besides the WBC, right? All the major sanctioning body titles, right? So we're gonna see how this whole thing plays out. I like when fighters fight foreign because if they're the world champion, they should fight around the world, not just in their home nation, right? That would make Anthony Joshua just as elusive as Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury beat Vladimir Klitschko, he did it in Germany, right? And then when he beat Deontay Wilder, he did it in the U.S. Same thing, Anthony Joshua. When he fought Andy Ruiz, he fought him in Saudi Arabia. Now he needs to do something in Bulgaria. He needs to travel, and that's what makes boxing really exciting. Hopefully we get a really cool promotion for this. I don't know too much about Bulgaria, but hopefully in this promotion it will become bigger and better, as far as just the landmarks and the places they'll travel to fight in Bulgaria. A lot of these fighters, when they fight foreign, they usually travel to the place a week or two advance, so they get used to the time zones and things like that of the area before they start fighting there. So, watch for Anthony Joshua to be fighting some of the local guys, maybe for training camp. Maybe he might go to his local gyms. Maybe he might have some local cuisine. It'll just be an experience. I always felt the promotions for these fights took you to the place they were at when they trained. So that's some stuff I really like. Maybe it's a personal thing, but it really makes the fight more intriguing. It's not just a fight; it's more of like an event. And Bulgaria is a place that is rarely touched on, at least in the American audience. If you ask the average American about Bulgaria, they couldn't tell you anything about it. So I'm pretty sure maybe in the UK, you probably don't know too much about Bulgaria as well. If you know about Bulgaria, let me know, because I have no idea about Bulgaria too much, right? Kubrat Pulev is a phenomenal fighter. The guy only has one loss, and that's to Vladimir Klitschko. And we don't need to talk about that loss. There's only one L. You know, Vladimir Klitschko beat everyone basically. You know, and he almost stopped Anthony Joshua. So losing to Vladimir Klitschko is not really something to take with a grain of salt with. You don't take that with a grain of salt. It's a sweetener actually, because he lost a legend. Vladimir Klitschko will definitely be a Hall of Fame fighter. So Kubrat Pulev, he's still an elite level fighter. You know, a lot of people do not want to give the guy respect because he's older and he doesn't have the physique of, you know, like a Superman. You know, but I think he's a pretty good fighter, man. He's underrated. His talents are more based on fundamentals than being extremely athletic or anything like that. So he's not the most exciting to watch. But if you actually study the sport, he's actually pretty fundamentally sound, to the point where he's been the mandatory for a while now, right? This is not the first time Kubrat Pulev has been a mandatory. So let me know how you guys feel about it, though. I think this is a really big deal. Fight most likely can happen in the Middle East, maybe Bulgaria. Let me know how you guys feel about it, though. Like, comment, subscribe. This is the Empire. Geoboxing Empire. Peace.